Is there a difference between not wanting to be a mother and not wanting children? I think so. If you read the essay my title mimics, then you may get an idea of what's to come. By now, Jamila Jamil's essay I Don't Want Children. I don't want children. I don't want children. I don't want children has circled the globe several times. And during this circling, it's garnered her death threats and venom. You don't need to agree with everything Jamil wrote, but for our society to progress, you do need to understand why everything she wrote was essential. Because the ugly truth is, if a man had written what Jamil did, no one would have blinked. A man is allowed to not want children. A man is allowed to not like children. Heck, there are even fathers out there, like multimillionaire car salesman and influencer Andy Elliott, who is suggesting that you only need to spend 20 minutes a day with your kids. Can you imagine if a woman suggested such a thing? When a woman says she doesn't want kids without moving to soften her taboo with a declaration of devotion to children, the world gasps. Women like this challenge the world order. Their existence pecks away at everything we are led to believe, that if a woman doesn't have children, well, she must want them, and if she doesn't want them, well, she must adore them. What is a woman if she doesn't go goo goo gaga over babies? A monster. A villain. And Jamil has absolutely been villainist for writing her truth and sharing a tongue-in-cheek pushback to the ubiquitous question that so many of us child-free women get. But why? Why don't you want kids? To which a response of I just don't want them is not satisfactory to our inquirer, and yet is the best reason of all not to have them. So many people want to know why. Why exactly don't we want kids? And then, if we tell them, as Jamil did, it creates a shit show. I can't help but think we need to rephrase things. If you look closely, Jamil isn't saying kids shouldn't exist. Of course not. She is simply outlining the role she doesn't want, that of mother. Would society respond differently to us, child-free women, if we decentered children in our response? If someone has to ask, instead of questioning whether I want kids, I'd rather they ask whether I want to be a mother. Because it's not as simple as not wanting kids. I'm rejecting motherhood, not children. I can't speak for all child-free people, but while yes, in truth, I don't want kids, it's deeper than that. I have examined the parenting role from every angle. I don't want to be a parent. Specifically, I don't want to be a mother. And while I don't give a frig if someone is offended by my not having or wanting children, I can't help but wonder if they were to hear that I don't want to be a mother as opposed to hearing that I don't want children, then maybe they wouldn't make the standard jump to me being a child-hating monster. They may even recognize that I know what it takes to be a good mother, and I am responsibly not signing up for a role that I am not fully committed to. I think the people who get most offended about those of us who don't want kids are the ones who feel anyone choosing not to have them is a criticism of what they have and the choices they have made. Ultimately, they are the ones who make other people's choices not to have kids about their choice to have them. Life Without Children writer Victoria Suzanne encapsulates this perfectly in her essay Why Some Mothers Really Hate Child-Free Women. Victoria describes a situation in the workplace in which she was asked whether she was planning to have kids. When she said she didn't want kids, one of her colleagues twisted this answer into a far-fetched conclusion. So are you saying my children should never have been born? I wonder how this colleague would have responded if Victoria had said she didn't want to be a mother. Don't get me wrong, we shouldn't have to soften our response to keep other people happy, but perhaps a little rephrasing may stop people getting so butthurt and thinking our decision not to have kids is an attack on their children. Maybe saying we don't want to be a mother, or, more generally, a parent, would land differently. Less spiky, less pearl-clutching, less evocative, or maybe, and perhaps more likely, it would just shift the focus of the offense. After all, those inclined to get offended are going to get offended, right? Not wanting kids and not wanting to be a mother are not quite the same thing. In this vulnerable, raw, and brutally honest piece titled Thinking About Having a Baby, here's my advice. Think Twice by Substack writer and mother Leah McLaren. McLaren draws out some of my unconscious reasons for not wanting to have kids. I don't want to be the one left holding the baby. And as a woman, the chances of this are high. Absent fathers are common. According to this article about single-parent facts and figures, in the UK, 1 in 4 families with kids are single-parent households. Of these, 89% are single mothers. Even if women are still with their partners, in heterosexual relationships, women can't win. They still do the lion's share of domestic labor, including child-rearing. For a woman to have it all, she must do it all. And quite frankly, I don't want to do it all. I'm one of 4 children. Guess how many nappies my father changed? A big fat 0. McLaren talks about how fathers have a backup plan, and mothers don't. Mothers are the backup plan, she says. Fathers can breeze in, breeze out and do the bare minimum to win Father of the Year awards. Men's lives can remain relatively unchanged when they become fathers. Recently, my husband's friend, who has 4 children, told his wife that he is no longer participating in family holidays as they are too stressful. I can't get this notion out of my head. Where is the support for his wife, the teamwork? Where is his accountability toward his role as a father? This is the same guy who once told my husband that I would change my mind and have kids. There is no backup plan for women when they become mothers. There is no safety net. Help is not coming. No matter what a woman does, she is scrutinized. Sure, those of us who are child-free are forever judged for this choice. And those who are childless are judged for not trying hard enough to have kids. The judgment mothers receive is also brutal. Mothers are judged if they have too many kids or too few kids. They're judged if they have kids when they're too young or too old. They're judged if they go back to work after having kids or embrace a stay-at-home role. Men don't receive this judgment. Fuck it, we have a wave of rich, influential men like Andy Elliott perpetuating ridiculous notions of spending as little time with kids as possible. Who are the ones who will be picking up the parental slack here? Mothers. Is it any wonder women more than men are opting out of having kids? So, yes, this isn't about not wanting kids per se. It's about not wanting to be a mother. Maybe, just maybe, I would consider having kids if I could be a father. But right now, the role of mother holds no appeal to me, and until society evolves and mothers are better supported, I believe we are going to see a continual trend of awakened women rejecting the shackles of motherhood. If you are a mother, please do not take my rejection of your role personally. I admire what you do. I also recognize your lack of support. Mothers hold up the sky in their households. They are overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and often co-parenting with inept men who indulge in weaponized incompetence. I love my husband. We live a fairly egalitarian life together. But even the division of labor with our dog leans 90% on me. There is no doubt in my mind that if we had had kids, a similar statistic would be at play. And that would build fury and resentment. I dare say our relationship may not even survive. So no, this isn't against kids or anyone's identity as a mother. It's simply the recognition of a role I don't want. Of the extra burden I don't want to be laden with. Because, quite honestly, from the outside looking in, it really doesn't look appealing. There are many, many people out there who want kids. That's great. How about we better support those who want them and have them, accept and respect the wishes of those who don't want them and show more compassion to those who want them but can't have them. So yeah, kids, meh, I can take them or leave them. But motherhood? That's a hard no. What about you? If you are a child-free woman, would you consider having kids if you could be a father?